Back in the late 1930s, early 1940s, the Walt Disney Studios was struggling. Now, they obviously saw financial and critical success with Snow White and Seven Dwarfs, but they really failed to recapture that same lightning in a bottle with Fantasia and Pinocchio. And around this time, World War II was starting to kick in, so they started losing access to their international market. So not only were they losing money internationally, they were also losing money domestically. And so Walt said, okay, well, let's lower the production down on one of these films, put out a little film, make sure that it's a tight story, and let's see if the audience eats it up. And out of necessity came Dumbo. This film was produced with a reduced budget. It saw massive cuts to the animation, but the animation is still good, and it's been a classic for almost 80 years. So I guess my question is, why is this 1 hour and 3 minute film produced almost 80 years ago with ridiculous production constraints more captivating and compelling than the 2019 film with basically an unlimited budget and nearly double the runtime? Dumbo is the latest film from Tim Burton, and honestly, given Tim Burton's track record with adaptations, I really shouldn't be surprised that this deviates so much from the source material. Now, if you know me, you'll know that I think that a lot of the remakes are pointless and stupid and they don't change enough, and I'm going to sound like I'm just never happy because they change a lot with this film. And I admire this film for at least trying something different, but it's still not very good. A lot of the problems I have lie with the script. Tim Burton's visuals are okay. They're not as Tim Burton-y as I would have expected. In fact, the pink elephant scene is massively underwhelming. And yes, they're bubbles in the first one. They're, bubbles from, Dumbo and Timothy Mouse being drunk. But in this one, they're just magic bubbles that Michael Keaton's circus happens to have. And that's just kind of weird and out of place. I guess my biggest gripe with this film is that it wants to change so much and yet still have those iconic things, but it doesn't carry the heart of the film over to this one, and so those moments are just there. It's like they looked at those scenes in the original and like, those scenes are iconic and we need to have them in here. And it's just the iconography without the real heart and weight behind those scenes. Prime example is Baby Mine. That's one of the saddest songs in Disney's catalog. It makes me cry every time. I'm not ashamed to admit it. The animation is gorgeous, the scene is powerful. But the difference between this film and the original is that the original places its focus on Dumbo, and so when we see his mother taken away, we're with Dumbo. And this remake, it's in the background. In the original, you get maybe about a 2.5 minute scene with Baby Mine, and you see all the babies with their mom, and you just kind of compare it to Dumbo's situation with his mom. And it's sweet, and it's powerful. In this one, it's just something that basically happens in the background while one of the circus performers sings the song. And it's like 45 seconds, and it's not emotionally gripping. This film is also incredibly bloated. There's just so much stuff that didn't need to happen. It feels like it's two films put together, and it doesn't work. I don't want to be too harsh on the kids. They are just kids after all. But man, they cannot act. They're just wooden and they give bad performances. The little girl annoyed me the most because she sees the most screen time. Her brother adds absolutely nothing to the story and you could have cut him out. And there's just such a missed opportunity here. Like I said, the focus of this movie isn't on Dumbo. He's a secondary character. He's a character in the background, really. It's about this family that works with this circus, that lives and works with the circus. And they could have written something interesting and compelling with the character, the little girl's mom dying, and Dumbo's mom being taken away. It's script writing 101. It writes itself. Colin Farrell comes back from the war and he's missing a limb, so they could have used something like him missing a limb and related it to Dumbo's ears as being seen as an outcast or a freak. It basically writes itself, but they didn't go those ways because that would have been the smart thing to do. This film is riddled with cliches. The little girl is like, I want to be a scientist. And they never do anything really with that. Everything that has her experimenting or whatever, it happens off screen. Most of all, this film is just boring. And I shouldn't be bored watching a movie where an elephant flies. Granted, the bits where we see Dumbo fly are easily the best parts of this film, but it's just the iconography. Ooh, it's Dumbo flying. I remember that from when I was a kid. it doesn't mean it's a good story. And I feel like a lot of people are coming out of this thing thinking it's a good movie because they saw Dumbo fly and he looked realistic. But there's no weight to this story. There's no emotional depth to it. I don't care about the family. I don't care about the circus. I don't care about Michael Keaton. I should be caring about Dumbo, but I don't, because he's a background character in a film where his name is the title. On a technical level, all the pieces are there and whatever, but I don't like the CGI elephant. This is what a baby elephant looks like. That does not look like a baby elephant. That looks like Uncanny Valley territory. The eyes are way too big and it's creepy. The movie just kind of sucks, and by the time it gets to the third act, it's just completely ridiculous. I'm not saying that this film is completely devoid of any enjoyment. There were some bits where I was kind of interested. But the negatives for this film massively outweigh the positives, and I'm going to give Dumbo a D. I want to make it clear that I didn't go into this thing determined to hate it. I wanted to give it a fair shot because of the 3 remakes coming this year, actually 4 because we got Maleficent now. This one looked the most promising because it actually had a solid cast, and I don't really think Tim Burton's that great of a director, but he is a good visionary. The pieces were all there, but the script just wasn't. And I guess I shouldn't be surprised because it was the guy that wrote Transformers 2. Hey guys, have you seen Dumbo? If you have, let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. Do you like the original better? You like the remake? Personally, I will always prefer the original. The remake, I don't care about. It's going to be forgotten about in a year and a half. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. You can follow me over on Facebook at Mario Benessi YouTube, and I will see you later.